In this video, we're going to take the time to show you how we made a slide out for our IceCo cooler. Now this project will work for just about anyone, whether it's old, new, you name it. We have a 1999 Coleman Pop-Up and the fridge wasn't that efficient. Set up for also propane and then 120 of course. Now for us, we do a lot of stuff off-grid, and with the lithium batteries, the solar generators, it just made more sense to basically maximize that space, have something much more efficient. And the IceCo 3-in-1, it's amazing. We have a video on that, but it basically, you can put ice in it, you can make it a fridge, you can make it a freezer, it just does everything. And we're typically running a solar generator or we're plugging it to our lithium battery bank. So with that being said, some of the things that we are using in order to do this project, I use the porta-band to cut the metal. Now, you don't need one of those. This one's very affordable, picked it up at Harbor Freight. Had I known I'd use it as much as I did or do, I would probably get the Milwaukee because I love the Milwaukee products, and also have the swag table. What a great tool. But you don't need a tool like this, so just because you see it in the video doesn't mean that's what you need in order to cut the metal. So with some of the items that you'll need, we have this slide out drawer slides, of course, the slotted angle, and then also some screws, maybe some plywood or some kind of metal or something like that. You'll see those, and I'll also list that information in the description below. But at the end of the video, I want to take the moment, basically share with you the pros, the cons, the benefits, and some of the features of basically making your own versus buying one. And then also, did we go with version 1, version 2, or did we even keep the wheel? So stay tuned for that, and let's get started.
Slotted angle, 14 gauge, 1.5 inches by 8 feet, and it's zinc plated. Now there's a couple possibilities and lots of different endless amounts of configurations. But if you're putting a plate on the top, this design is probably going to work the best, because then you can actually come back in and screw this down once you attach your top plate to this. So that's just if it's an area that you can get to or can't get to, which is our situation. So this design here, but like I said, lots of different possibilities, but I think this is the most versatile setup right here, like a traditional drawer. So here we have version 1 of the slide out. Now this version, the track is on the outside, and what I've noticed is everything kind of wants to kind of like fold in. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the track and we're going to put that on the inside so that the bar is on the outside. My feeling is version 2 would have more support in the middle for the track and just be a little bit smoother with the slide. So this is version 1. We're going to take it apart and try version 2. So with version 2, we switched the tracks around, so now they're on the inside and actually a little bit closer. And then I actually put a little stop plate on the front, and well, on the front and on the back. Now the next thing I'm going to do is just add a small little wheel here. And this wheel is actually going to sit underneath in the middle. And what that will do is you can kind of see right here, got a little bit of like side to side wiggle. And so I'm hoping also with the weight of these are not rated for the cooler with a bunch of food in it. So having that extra wheel in the middle should actually also help when it comes further out. So I'm going to go ahead and install that next. Okay, installing the wheel. So basically I've cut a small little scrap piece of 1/2 inch plywood, and what I've done is the board itself is 16 inches, so I marked 8 inches and then just basically squared it up off the piece of aluminum trim. Did a line there, just did a line down the middle of that. So then basically I'll take this, just get it lined up on that line, and then just take my little wheels, basically attach those right on the same little line, and everything should be straight. Wheels, and basically started off with one, getting it lined up there, and then once that gets set, if I have to make any adjustments with the other, I can before I go ahead and set that down. So for the most part, it's good enough. So let's go ahead and put it back together and see how it works. Okay, so the good thing is with the wheel at the end, when the weight's outside here on the tracks, it's sitting on the wheel. But as you get further back in, it just slides back on the tracks. So just having that wheel there just gives a little bit more support in the middle of the cooler and doesn't put as much on the tracks. So it makes it easier to roll in and out.
We had version 1, which the tracks were on the outside, and the weight was kind of causing, a little bit more pressure on the slide outs this way when you try to slide it out. Now version 2, everything was sat on the inside, the weight was kind of on the outside, so it was less prone to cause any kind of pressure on the tracks, the drawer slides when they came out. The wheel, we kind of found the problem with the wheel was, while it made sense, it actually created more friction. It wasn't a bearing style wheel, it wasn't fancy, it was just basic, just plastic wheel on a pin. So that kind of caused more drag. And surprisingly enough, once we got this loaded and weighed it all out, with food and everything in it, typical things that we take, it only came in about 85 pounds fully loaded. So surprisingly enough, the drawer slide, which can handle 100 pounds, was perfect. You'll see here, at this spot, Teresa had no problem pushing this in and out. And it's pretty amazing just how simple it was. So we're very pleased with that. Going over pros and cons of buying one versus making one. For us, we took out our old fridge. It's hard to know when you buy one if it's really going to fit in that space. And by making one, the benefits and the pros are definitely, you have a lot of creativity as to what you do, how you do it, maybe what type of drawer slide you go with what weight, what length it slides out. This one was a total of 24, I think it's like 4 feet, roughly. So we had no problem basically sliding this out of the space, which you saw, and being able to comfortably open it. Buying one, I would say the benefits of buying one is that you got it, you just pretty much install it and you're good to go. There's a lot of universal ones. On average, it seems like they're pretty much about $150 to $200. That to me can be a little pricey, but when you take the time to add up your time, and then the items that you purchase, at the time we did this project, we probably have maybe $60 in outlay between the metal and then also the drawer slides themselves. So the slotted and the drawer slides, roughly $60, give or take, some miscellaneous wood screws, and then some hardware I had on hand, and then the 3/4 inch plywood. Now, if you had to actually go buy all that stuff, I'd be hard pressed to say that, if you have to get a sheet of plywood, it's 3/4 inch, and then cut it down. And if you don't have all the tools for that, that's the downside. It makes it difficult. So for us in this application, making one and having some of the items around, like the hardware that we already had, the plywood and things like that, is definitely the way to go. It's a lot more affordable. If you don't have all the tools in order to make one, you have to go out and buy every single item. I would really encourage you, if you have the space, you get the measurements, I think it's just better to just go out and purchase one. You just basically just put it right in, you're done. So that's my thoughts. Appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Hopefully you found some of the information helpful, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
Slides out. I think he did a video on this, or he's going to do a video, so you guys will see. And, you know, you can get into your fridge, just like that. Of course, you see, we put all the healthy stuff on top. We're hiding all the bad things at the bottom. So that's that. So that's nice, because we decided to do it facing this way, because 9 times out of 10 we're over here when we want to get something out of the fridge. So, and then I usually just use my foot to slide it back in like that. And then if you're cooking and it slides out, you can still open it and reach in and be in the space. So it's really nice.